It's time for Undone. To help heal and grow you, here's your host, Dawn McJoy.
And welcome back, my listeners. You are on Undone with Dawn McJoy, or When We Come Undone. I am the featured guest today, Eric. There's no one else here. It's just you and me.
Uh-oh.
I know. Well, it's not because I didn't want to have a guest. I made the choice to finally come out on my 11th show. So I wanted to introduce myself to the listeners that are out there. My name is Dawn McJoy, and my stage name and my fun radio name is Dawn McJoy. And one of the reasons why I go by that is because when people walk around lately in the marketing world and in my nonprofit world, they say, Dawn, you have this beautiful smile about you, and you always bring me joy. So I'm a lone ranger sitting at this big table, and it feels a little weird. I have to admit, I'm on my 11th week, and being alone is something that I have to face. I don't know if you're like this, but I'm an introverted extrovert. And so when I started Undone, it started as a book, and then in my head and in my heart, I always wanted it to go out to a different population. And so we turned it into this crazy radio show. And so I feel like I've come a long way since week 1 to being alone to week 11. Isn't that, don't you love that? The ones and the ones that just kind of coincide. So I thought about it. I was like, well, if I don't have a guest, don't you guys just talk to yourself anyways? And you could probably go on for hours and hours, right? Well, this is kind of that, although I wanted to sit across from you or in your car or on the radio through the internet. So if you're sitting there, you're just sitting here having a conversation with me. And then I thought about it. Wait a minute. I'm a personal growth development coach, and my job is to help people live life and to educate them and having more confidence and joy in mental and health challenges, emotional health challenges. So how do I do that? Well, I practice at home, meaning I practice my strategies at home. So why not write it on a piece of paper? It's only 1 page long, so we got a lot of content and a little couple songs, right, Eric? I Spotify'd the whole thing for you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, looking forward to the playlist.
Yeah, I heard. Okay, so I wanted to enlighten you on who I was first and foremost and get all that like biz out of the way, okay? And then we can have fun, okay? We're going to have a little bit of knowledge. I like to educate people. It doesn't mean that I know everything. So if you have a question or if you want to educate me on something cool that you've learned about your mental and emotional state, call in and talk to me. You can call 909-792-5222. And the thing is that it is an interactive show. It always has been. It just didn't seem like it when I produced most of the sessions. It was illuminating other businesses and things like that in the community, because my joy comes from illuminating or building up other businesses, other friends, and talents. And so might as well start with me tonight. And I run a nonprofit called Red Shoe Project, Inc., INC. I paid the money for that, corporate status, as well as I paid the money for the nonprofit. The nonprofit, what it does is it functions as a system for mental and emotional health problems. And then you come to me and we do personal growth development. Now you can see me once a week. You can see me every other week. You can see me telehealth whenever you feel like it in your pajamas. I love the pajama lifestyle, usually tank tops and jeans and flip-flop chick. But tonight I decided to wear this shirt today, Eric and Abby in the studio. It says Stay Golden. Now I ordered this on Amazon. Okay, I'm an Amazon girl now. And The reason why I got it is because I kept doing that campaigning during COVID. I would list on my little stories, stay golden, stay golden. Well, what does that mean? It means to be the light that you wish to see in the world. And so I chose this crazy funky shirt, and it's a little too big because it makes me feel comfortable. So sit back, relax, hang out with me. You got a question, you got something, maybe you got a kid that's not doing well tonight. You're a teacher and you're exhausted, about ready for graduation. Maybe you're learning for self-care tips, or what do I do? So tonight is about mental health, but also identity crisis, meltdowns, and those wacky, weird emotions. Okay? And I wanted us to focus on staying in the present. Well, tonight, you are on my 11th show. This is a present moment for me. I today was in Menifee, Eric, and I was speaking to these gorgeous ladies, GSFE. These are beautiful women that have come together. It's not just that networking meeting. Okay, you know what it is? It's a bunch of love in a room, and
Ooh.
we had breakfast at a
Oh,
family
okay.
restaurant. A lot of us networker, entrepreneur people don't know that even if we meet at a restaurant, we still need to dress nicely, right?
Yeah.
And we still need to present our products well. And so I got to talk to them today about best business practices for the modern day women. Okay, well, what about the men? So there was a guy there. And the thing I liked about him is that he was the only dude in the room, Eric. And he sat there next to his wife proudly because they do the business together.
Yeah. Okay.
and-
I like that teamwork right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And the thing I love the most about the whole thing was that as the meeting started, he actually exited out and he did some other tools. He left. And so his wife got to have this beautiful little spot because he knew that she needed to talk about their business in her way with these beautiful women. I met an author. Most of them are authors now. I met a woman that does publishing. And she goes, I always wanted a radio show. I was like, hey, call up KCAAradio.com or KQLH. Okay. The fun thing is that I had to be in the present, even though my head was focused on this fun, wacky, amazing episode, radio. And I needed to stay in the present. But all I was thinking about was, what am I going to say on the show? What am I going to say on the show? Don't you do that sometimes? When you're like, okay, I'm preparing. And then nothing comes out as you planned. And then people go, that was really good. I'm like, okay, are you sure? And I believe that connecting to 1 to 2 people is successful for me in any kind of speaking engagement. So today we're going to start with my philosophy on how I help my clients. So I'm going to kind of reveal my secrets, Eric. Are you cool with that?
Yeah, I'm fine. Oh, I might take some notes down actually.
Please
myself.
do. And this is education. So get some
Yes.
paper
Everybody
or
take
text
some
it.
notes down.
Yes. A teacher always says, what? Grab a pen and paper
There you go.
or write it on your whiteboard or text it to yourself or email it to yourself or speak text it to you.
Right.
That's what I do.
Yeah, there you go.
I just text it to myself at my phone number so I don't
Yes.
forget. And so this is the 4 quadrants that we're going to cover. Now, every single show I've been covering 4 sections in the way we do routine, right? Do you want to know why? It's called love, know, speak, do. Love, know, speak, do. And when I became undone, I forgot that that's how I healed myself. So I had to start really working better on being my own client. And so the love, know, speak, do sections, what I'd like you to do is draw a cross like this, okay? And put love in the corner, know in the corner, speak in the lower corner, and do in the other corner. And then I want you to make a circle around that cross, okay? And I want you in the middle, I want you to do the word balance. Now, all 4 of those quadrants, if done right and when assessed right and put into action, creates balance. And wacky emotions help you go off balance a lot, right? Okay, so this is how I strategize with my clients. And I thought, well, might as well just talk to you in the radio world. If you want to get better, there is a choice you can make. A lot of us are doing for others because we love them. And then what happens is we do for others, but our people are not loving us. They're taking from us. I think mental health problems start when we are not recognized for who we are in the present. Maybe I'm not feeling very well today because I had a long weekend in Vegas with my Jim and Jackie show
Ooh, lucky.
experience.
Thanks for the invite, by the way.
It was a kind of a random for me, but I also threw stuff in a bag and took off.
Yes.
Thing is that I did it because I love my friend. Yet I knew in the no section all the different styles of friends that are my close friends were going to be there, and I haven't seen them in a very long time. So I had to speak to my friends and say, hey friends, what's the digits? Like how much do I owe? What do I pack? What's the weather? Where are we going? I'm a planner because I have anxiety. I don't know if you guys do, but I do. And then there's these other parts of me that just like, relax. That's the speak portion. Those are things that we hear inside of us. relax, chill out. Well, when somebody tells me relax or chill out, Eric, doesn't that like make you not want to do it?
For some reason, it usually has the opposite effect.
Yeah. I'm just like, no, rebellious. No,
Yes.
no. And I create my own chaos. And so when I do that, I'm putting out in the universe, I'm not ready to go. I'm not going to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Becoming Undone with Dawn McJoy is about the slowing down after all of that planning and doing and doing and doing. So I move myself in a behavior pattern that what I do includes mercy or kindness in the love section. You want to put that in there, mercy or kindness, and then grace. And grace is a big word, but grace means finding favor on myself despite what I am and what I've been doing. Some favor, some forgiveness, a little bit of like, well, Dawn, maybe you shouldn't have to worry so much about your hair and makeup. Maybe work on a nice outfit to go out, but are you relaxed? Wearing clothes that are more comfortable fitting. So I talk about identity issues. There's a lot of things that in my world I wrap around music. What does music do to me? Fires me up. Eric, I know you love music. Abby, you guys love my playlist for tonight, which means it fired you up. And the playlist was inspired, by the old school fun movie that brought my soul to some kind of laughter, which was School of Rock. Yeah, man. I love the Tenacious D, man. I mean, he's amazing. Jack Black knows how to deliver things. The children involved in that movie accentuated all kinds of gorgeous children that are savants. And most people don't know that my old history, the way I used to work, was with kids with autism and special needs. I enjoyed working with the families that really took it to heart that they had to work on their child's nutrition, build some kind of treatment center in their home, in their garage, or a playroom. Kids with autism are tactile, so they need certain things in their hands or not. They have different pain receptors. And so I've been teaching people for so long what it's like to be a specialty person. Yet specialty means like Asperger's children or Asperger's individuals, they have that one thing that they're really into. Whether it's music or a beat or a certain instrument, or I had a client that was really into whales or dinosaurs. And as an adult, sometimes I think I'm Asperger's in a way because I'm fixated on a certain thing. And so when I speak to people, I talk to them about the 4 main things that I know, which is loving people, getting to know you, speaking to you about it, and then doing something in my behavior that emulates all of those things. So this might be a big, topic, but mental health is big. It's not just my brain is off, it's my whole body becomes off because of my thoughts. And so tonight, if you want to call in and talk to me, you can call 909-792-5222, and you're on Undone with Dawn McJoy. Let's talk about my crazy weekend. You want to talk about it real quick, Eric, for me?
Oh, I would love to hear about it.
You down for that?
Yes.
And I warned him ahead of time. I'm alone, so I'm going to need him to do some commentary. And the thing about Eric is that he's so workable. That's you having some grace with me, and I appreciate that.
No, my pleasure.
And love, know, speak, do means talking about the things that you've done and being open about it and how refreshing it can be, so it might inspire someone else. And that's the whole reason why we do marketing and sales, right? When we talk about business, we talk about operations and financing. We did that last week. We talked about finances, how important they are in business, to relax a little bit, to tell your kids, tell your family what you're getting into, your adjustments, telling people that it's okay that we're changing, mommy and daddy are changing, people going through divorces. It's okay that mommy and daddy are going through divorce, yet we still love you. And that's something that I had to remember all weekend with my friends. We went and visited Jackie from the Jimbo and Jackie show, and they plugged me today on their show on KQLH, and so I'm going to plug them. They're my fun friends, but the show themselves is a whole phenomenon, so check them out on YouTube. With me, though, I'm the one in the group. I'm the youngest in the group, Eric.
Okay.
And I'm the most skittish. I don't know. And then they're like, come on, Donster, hang out. Let's go. The social anxiety that I get from big crowds, especially in Vegas, I don't know how to describe it to anybody.
I don't trust the Elmo suits and all the
It's-
adults in costumes.
Something's off. The thing is,
Yes.
I actually love the weirdness, though. I
Okay.
enjoy the costumes,
Yeah.
all the flair.
Are you going to Old Vegas then? Are you going to what is it?
Everywhere. I was just everywhere in different spots.
Yeah, right. Nice.
I went to a burger joint called Strip Burger.
Okay.
What is that? Like, it was awesome fries, and
Yes.
burger, but the name alone, Strip Burger?
Yeah,
What's that?
yeah,
A little
yeah.
questionable. Thing I love too, though, I visited some very posh places that I probably would have never thought of going. And Jim, Jackie, Casey, and Stan, like they created this environment for me that I could have my own identity, still be my awkward self, but dress nice and sit quietly and have my cocktail. Do you know how refreshing that is? That is the do portion, and that's the love that my friends gave me and the identity that I wanted to have. And I didn't want them to think I was like super skittish and I work too much and I have to answer the cell phones all the time. And no, I chose to put my phone down and decide I want to be in the present with my friends in the now. And so what a blessing. I didn't come home till Monday.
Ooh, nice.
And, it was totally worth it. I had my spa time before I left and
Yeah.
drove 6 hours in a sandstorm, which
Oh,
caused
no.
anxiety. But
6 hours from Vegas?
yes,
Ooh, I'm
there
sorry
was a
to hear.
huge sandstorm on Monday.
Oh, no.
Okay. And the thing is that, boy, that was a productive time. My friends put on a podcast, so we listened to a book for 2
Ooh,
hours.
Okay, let's go.
We listened to this other podcast, and all it was, which was a beautiful thing, all it was these two girls reading emails and then responding to them. So I thought, I'm going to do that.
That's
So,
pretty interesting.
yeah. So I thought I would pitch that on my show, too.
Yeah.
That's genius. If you guys have questions or you want me to pull it up as a subject on Undone here with Dawn McJoy on KCEA Radio, you're more than welcome to email me. You can email me at dawnmcjoy@gmail.com. I opened a Gmail. Okay. Gmail to me is universal. I get emails from Gmail. There is no issue when I get the Gmail.
Dawn, are you on Instagram as well?
I am. Thanks
you
for
should
asking.
probably plug that as well for people. Maybe they can message you on there. If
Thank
it's
you.
an easier platform.
Look at you, radio man.
You know,
yeah, he has his own show too. So you can Instagram me. I'm on _7. You can message me, or I'm on Undone When We Come Undone on Instagram, as well as Facebook When We Come Undone. And then if you wanted to check out Red Shoe Project, you can go to rspi.org. Or you can look us up, Red Shoe Project Inc. on Insta and Facebook. It's the same fun handles. So try to blend that. So before we go take a break, I kind of want to introduce you to myself to yourself. Just kidding. I want to introduce myself to you and show you what my experience is rather than just throwing in, all these fun scenarios. I spoke today for these ladies, and so this is the bio that I wrote for them, and I thought, this is who I am, and I might as well just share it with you. So I am Dawn McCoy, or Dawn McJoy. I'm a graduate of California Baptist University 3 times over in degrees in psychology, behavioral science, counseling psych, marriage family therapy, counseling ministry, and I'm a nonprofit boss babe since 2011 at Red Shoe Project Inc. In mental and emotional health care. I'm a radio talk show host now, which is amazing. We started this in January. Did you know that?
Oh, congrats.
I can't believe it's already been it's
Time's
April.
flying.
We did it. Okay. And I'm a thyroid cancer warrior, as I like to call it, since 2019. COVID warrior, had it in 2022 in January. And I'm a longtime friend of local nonprofits and businesses in my community. I'm known as Dawn McJoy, and the public shares with me my heart with those who have been affected in mental and emotional trauma. Most people, when they hear that I do mental health, they're like, oh, I have a friend for you. And if you do, please send me a message on my handles. You can call the station and leave a message at 909-792-5222. And basically, I love personal growth development coaching, and I work hard to bring comfort to those affected by human trafficking, eating disorders, suicide, and the major anxiety disorders. Actually, I've been doing this, Eric, since I was probably about 16.
Oh, really? Okay.
Like 29, 30 years. Does that work out? My work reflects life, and the main focus of my purpose is to build a bridge where light and darkness meet, to create hope and light in the times of trauma and pain. Cancer warrior, best friend, and dedicated to the cause. I'm going to tell you, if you've got a cause, all you got to do is tell me about it. I'll probably fight for you as well, because There's a lot of nonprofit owners out there. They're silent and working hard, and they don't have time to come out in the out of the trenches. And it's been so difficult. So I wanted to break real quick because we've already gone through several minutes. And to remind you, this is Undone with Dawn McJoy. And when I speak, I'm really just wanting to talk to you like we're just sitting across having a cup of coffee. That this is no drama here. There's no unwelcomed subject on this at all. And my favorite thing about people is that they can always come up with something fun to make you laugh, or they always use defense mechanisms, and then you find something beautiful of them. Like, that's a nice shirt you're wearing, sir. I really like your tie. There's something about me that I enjoy loving people by getting to know them and saying something very sweet and calm to them, and it does something to them. They either call it's like, I don't know, there's like an aura, and maybe it is an aura, but maybe it's a talent that I have learned to find as an identity, so then I can do it more and more, and my passion is to encourage. So I want to talk about, real quick before we go, we're going to play Black Sabbath Iron Man. Okay, the reason is because no matter what we're doing, we push, right? We're pushing so hard that we're almost about to break. And we listen to songs, Eye of the Tiger, that's what I was listening to before I got here. Eye of the Tiger. It's the thrill of the fight. It's challenging to get up here by myself, yet it is not something I've never done before. I've taught college. I spoke today. Radio is just one more avenue. And did you know, Eric, like you're a radio person too. You have your own show. It's achievable. It is. This is an achievable feat. It is not scary, actually. What's scary is that if I wasn't confident in my business as well as my ethics and my core values and my identity, I would not be able to sit here today with you.
Right, yeah.
And I think a lot of people relate to that. They're like, that's so brave. Is it? Well, I'm thankful for that comment. And we are Iron Men. I am Iron Man. The reason why we are is because we have learned to overcome some of the craziest things, is what I'm going to say. And we've seen so much and oversaturated, and it caused pain for a little bit, but we are here to bring light through all of these crazy things. So let's listen to that song real quick. Is he live or dead? I mean, I know anybody who saw Black Sabbath back in the day, you know that feeling when you hear that. You feel it. You just feel that. That is a gift.
Ooh, so you saw Black Sabbath back in the day, Cole?
I did. I went to old school out there in Glen Helen. What's that? What was that called again? I forgot.
Oh, man, I wouldn't know. Yeah,
out there in Glen Helen. I don't know.
All the OGs know.
Yes, with Korn. The Korn was there. Metallica, Marilyn Manson.
Was it the
Ozfest. How do I not remember
Ozfest?
Ozfest? It's because I'm focused on mental health. No, I honestly, it was scary and fun. Right. At the same time, You never know what you're going to get at those.
Yeah, I never was
Ozfests.
able to make it down there, but I know there was one or two when they made them free, like 1 or 2 years.
Yeah,
I
I
missed
paid the
out.
$21, I think, but
there you go.
and sat 5 hours in traffic.
Broke the bank for that.
Well, the thing is, too, is that when you're young, you don't really appreciate some of
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yes.
And then you get my age in the 40s, and you're like, that was so awesome.
Yeah, I'm guessing was Limp Bizkit maybe on that bill too.
Maybe.
Yeah, it seems like in
Oh,
the
man,
Ozfest.
you said Limp Bizkit. Oh,
One
okay.
of those days.
Memories. So right now, welcome back. You're on Undone with Dawn McJoy. I am Dawn McJoy. I do personal growth development coaching, and I enjoy encouraging people and educating people in mental and emotional health challenges when you're going through that. So right now, we're going to do a section called basically fruits of your spirit. Okay, a lot of people don't know this. It is biblical. That's great. Okay, the thing I love about it is that it completes a person to its core. There's only 9. And if you see here, if you guys are watching me or whatever, there's this, I get these things like baby food. It's called Go-Go Squeeze, apple cinnamon, okay? Reason why I get these is I used to juice during my cancer life, and I was juicing like 10, 15 apples every couple hours. That gets high maintenance when you are mentally and emotionally distraught over a disease. And I don't know if anybody relates to that, but the juicing, the nutrition, the resting, all of that stuff takes effort. Okay, it does. And when you have COVID, all that stuff becomes even more full of effort because you get the brain fog. Okay. So all I could do during COVID and cancer is I use these 9 fruits because this is what I tell my clients. If I can apply these fruits to me, I know you'll be successful. I teach my clients, you are the expert at your life, which means you got to talk to me and tell me which fruits that you're lacking, right? So the fruits of the spirit, I'm going to run through them real quick. Love, we already covered that. Joy, oh, well, my name's Dawn McJoy, so if you need more joy, come and meet me. Peace. Now, peace is very difficult to find, okay? In any situation, sometimes even I have to be reminded how to find peace, and sometimes some friends of mine, they've told me, Dawn, at least try to do something today for yourself to connect to 2 things. When my brain was foggy, Eric, all I could do, okay, what's in front of me? There's a succulent plant. That's 1. That counts as 1. And 2 would be not my cell phone, because my cell phone detaches me from the rest of the world. That's what I want for self-care. But connection, staying in the moment, is part of identity and staying in the present. That's part of finding an identity with the wacky emotions. Although I'm having a meltdown. Okay, how do I go back to finding my peace if I'm having a meltdown? Okay, what I suggest is take a nap. I tell my clients at the end of every session, what are you going to do today at the end of this session? What are you going to do today for yourself? And when I coach that, they're like, I don't think I've ever been asked that. So the first thing I say is, okay, you're going to do Starbucksy run. Are you going to go get your nails done? Or you can go pick up your kids, like get your dogs. Like, what are you going to do for yourself today? And most of them don't have an answer. So I make the suggestion, why don't you take a nap? I give my people permission to rest. Okay, that is a form of peace.
Right.
In any fashion, even if it's watching Netflix or Prime or whatever, or if you have it on in the background and then all of a sudden you're an artist and you're going to doodle, that stuff works, man. And then you put your Iron Man on, you're like, is he doodle, doodle, doodle. Those things equal mental and emotional health. Okay, if you're in your car right now, sometimes people drive to mentally and emotionally recharge, right? They listen to their fun.
Yeah, go on a nice little cruise.
Right, yeah. I went to Vegas. That was a reset for me. So if you want to call in, you can call and talk to me about any more weird suggestions at 909-792-5222. But I'm wanting to talk about misinterpreting what our body says. So for years, I would listen to my body, get a tummy ache, and immediately, if I had an event to go to, it was a no. If I felt like my tummy was hurting or I was sweating, or then I started menopause, which wasn't cool at 44, I evenly sweat everywhere. It just instant, fast. And that's a new one for me, okay? And that causes anxiety. So therefore, when I do the hot flashes, I have to explain it to my friends. Don't worry, I get cold and hot and I need something to eat, a snack always. Where's the food? I'm always a foodie. And I know it causes other people anxiety because they're like, I don't know, we're not thinking about that right now. That's the only thing I think about. Okay. And when you have that fear that your needs are not going to be met, I misinterpreted my own body for actual fact. And so I put myself out of the present and I became not well. And we don't become well unless we actually, one, voice it to somebody. Hey, I'm not well right now. Can you help me get my things together in my brain and my heart? Or I internally go to the mirror and I start talking to myself. Dawn, listen, you got this. You got this, girl. And some people put sticky notes on their mirrors, Eric. Like, it's still a thing, sticky notes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And the other thing is, some people don't understand that it's okay for a while to just push through. It is. It's a fight or flight response, okay? And when you become undone, and I'm going to keep saying this word because it's a trigger word. I want you to keep knowing that word. When you become undone and vulnerable, you literally know that you're becoming unwell by pushing through, yet it just has to get done. What does? It's I'm off balance, right? So we talked about love, joy, peace. That's my off balance. Patience. Now, this is the issue that I want to cover right now. Patience is a virtue, so they say. Okay, great. But anytime you try to work on your patience, you're tested on so many different awkward levels.
I don't have the patience for it.
I don't have the patience for it. I don't have the time for that. We choose to find our identity through how much impatience we have. The more we're challenged, the cooler we feel, the more successful we feel. Well, what if we're still challenged, but we take the approach like this? We say, I'm no longer going to live in guilt. I'm no longer going to live in shame. I'm no longer going to live in remorse. Being in the present, you get rid of these crazy things called stages of grief and loss, which is denial. You get rid of denial. Okay, you do. You start to come to terms with the fact that you're not well, and you start getting angry about it. Well, sometimes anger is a motivator, and this is what I'm telling you. It's okay to be motivated by anger unless it disturbs your joy, your peace, and your patience. And then the next one is kindness, right? Kindness, goodwill towards men, giving people the shirt off your back. Goodness is also goodwill towards men, or giving to nonprofits like rspi.org. Or there's just other weird ways that you can do things. Goodness and kindness. What are we doing for goodness and kindness towards ourselves? We got to get rid of the guilt. We got to get rid of that shame. And we definitely need to work on our remorse, okay? So the gift of memory is there for a reason as well, to help us repent or stop, say I was sorry or I was wrong, and then restore. So the stages of grief and loss tend to be more toxic, right? You dip down now into bargaining. A lot of us, what? Sure, I'll do that, even though I really don't want to. On the inside, we say that. I'll help you. Sure, I'll help you. And on the inside, we're like, I just want a nap. I need a snack. And I need to call my BFF. Like we categorize and bargain with ourselves. How far can we push our ledge of knowing things, speaking to people, doing things with people, and then loving them and loving ourselves at the same time? It's a big, weird balance. But I wanted you to turn around today and look in the mirror and then look at yourself and say, who brings me joy the most? What brings me joy the most? Because that is not toxic, right? Patience, kindness, goodness, faith. Now we talk about faith, right? Faith is another word for trust. A lot of us right now, Eric and my friend Abby in there, we don't trust anybody, especially after what we saw, right? So for some reason, I like you two and I like you two together, and I like how you are. I trust you both with this information, that someday you'll take this information to a friend of yours that says, that Dawn girl, I don't know how she does it, but you got to talk to her. And that's why Red Shoe was developed, is that it was a beacon or a place between light and dark and hope and desperation. And so to have a faith or a trust in some kind of organization meant the world to me, that I have been able to, from my creator and my friends, created a spot where people can intimately call me. They can talk to me on the airwaves at 909-792-5222, or you can download all kinds of information on me, or you could just straight up Message me on Insta. You got a friend, you got a problem, you got yourself, you got something going on, you got anything. I don't bargain with you. There's no bargaining with mental and emotional health care. We don't do that here. You are paying us to keep you well. Okay? And it doesn't always have to be every week. So what brings you joy? What brings you comfort? Not just what brings you joy or who brings you joy, but what brings you comfort? Truth, Eric? What pumps my volume up?
Yeah, what's that?
Pajama pants.
Oh, okay.
And music. But the two combination, as well as comfortability and sense of humor. I'm a pretty snarky person. I used to get written up at Starbucks when I worked there back in the day.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man. I was hired as a manager
Uh-huh.
because of the degrees, all of them. Boop, boop, boop. At 30 years old, did I know anything about managing? No, I could barely manage my life. I was going through divorce.
Right.
It's called Divorce Crazies for a reason, okay? When I decided to get a hold of my identity was not that long ago. My really good friends in business know that when I used to do business networking meetings, I would stand up and go, hello, my name's Dawn McJoy, and I'm a therapist and a pastor, and I have this center, and we have a massage therapist, and we have all these things, and it was very passive. Okay, that shows that I didn't have a lot of joy about my work, as well as I wasn't quite sure what I was going to be doing for future. Because I was always thinking, what's going to be next? What's this going to be next? I was always thinking about future, okay? Reality, I missed a lot of the great, big, friendly giants in my industry, as well as in my friends and in my community, because I was so worried about myself. And identity crises, meltdowns, you're so worried about not having a meltdown out in public that you forget the journey and you miss it all. And so I thought, well, undone means let's not miss it all. Let's just talk about it right now. Let's just talk about my social anxiety. Let's just talk about my weird habits. You want to talk about quirks? I got a million of quirks. And people who know me, they're like, she's silly. She's such a silly, weird person. But maybe it is silly. But I have a trust in my own heart that whatever comes out of this mouth between this big fat head here and this big crazy heart here, something productive can come out. Okay. So I want to take another break. And I want to play, let's see, what should we play? Should we play Zeppelin or, let's play Zeppelin, Immigrant. Reason is, I got this soundtrack, from School of Rock, okay, because School of Rock always gave me a sense of joy, and it somehow reminded me of how I was as a kid playing piano and getting scared at my recitals. And this show or that movie kind of took my intimidation, like, oh, every kid feels a little awkward with their band geek days. And
Yeah.
so if you're just joining us, you're on Undone with Dawn McJoy, and I'm just here talking about mental health and a little bit of emotional wackiness. I know, right? There's just something about that jam session, right?
Yes.
Everything about that is
Yeah.
it gets the yelling out a little bit. Okay, if you're just joining us, you're on Undone with Dawn McJoy, and we are at this awesome little radio station located in Redlands, and it's super chill here. And all we do is hang out. I call it a party, but it's not a party. It's just party for information,
There you go.
throwing stuff out there. Let's finish it off, those fruits of the spirit. The last one is what? Self-control. So today we're talking about mental health, mental breakdowns, identity crisis, those kinds of weird, tricky words that we hear all over the place. It's hard to control yourself when you're out of control in life. I mean, in a way, it's hard to control your thoughts. It's hard to control what you see on the internet. It's hard to not gather information from the news. It's hard. I relate. What I don't enjoy about that is it takes away my peace, like I keep talking about. We want peace. We want patience. We want kindness. We want actual joy. And what does that happen? How does that happen? Well, it can be translated in Hebrew as self-control as to be burden bearers or long sufferers. Aren't we that? I feel like we're long sufferers all the time. Yes, I'll do that. Pack on something right here. Yes, I'll do that. Pack that on the left shoulder. Yes, I'll do that. I'll put that on my backpack and save it for later. All these gatherings of things, I believe, is a manifestation of people in chaos create the chaos. So when you're having identity issues, when you're going through something like a major, major trauma in your family, totally surprised you weren't expecting it, or you planned it, doesn't matter. The gift of self-control, you're like, yeah, I don't have that. Nope. And most of my clients say, nope, that's the first thing they say. No, I don't have that. And that's the one we got to work on. No, that isn't just the one. There's only 9, and most of those you've pretty much succeeded in. I would say between 5 and 6 of those fruits of the spirit are already tuned in and dialed in your spirit and your heart and your body already. It's just a few ones like self-control, patience, and maybe a little bit of trust or faith that we got to work on. So my advice to you, change your whys to whats. Why am I so anxiety prone? Why do I have such money issues? Why does my business not operate the way I saw it? And it has nothing to do with why. We know why. It's because we built a hope in something, that we are unique and special. We call that unique privacy at my place. If you share your discomforts with me, it doesn't go anywhere with anywhere else. It just stays with us. It's called unique privacy. And when clients hear that, they're like, ooh, that's special. And then when clients hear me say, it's okay that you're the expert at your life, I don't know anything about you, please tell me more. The best way I know how to ask them to tell me more is identify their love language, which acts of service, quality time, all those things. You can read about what you are, or you can implement them in the do portion of the love, know, speak, do little thing I talked to you about earlier, right? 4 things that we do in life: loving people and loving ourselves better with joy, knowing people and ourselves better with joy. How? By getting to know things and reading new books, podcasts, all that stuff. Speaking to others that challenge you a little bit to be like, I didn't think about making $1 million. I didn't think about making $1 million. I just thought about my program. I need to think about more sponsors. I didn't get into this to make money. I got into this because I honestly believed that what was given to me in the last 29 years is shareable. And so a confidence from that came from when I had to start taking the focus off of why I'm doing it, but to what I'm actually doing. So I'm strategic about what I do. I'm strategic about the people I talk to. I'm strategic about the phone calls I actually accept. The people I let into my ear holes, as Jimbo calls it, ear holes, violating your ear holes. When I come to you or you come to me through telehealth or in the community, I'm not worried about what I hope is going to work out between you and I. I'm not constantly thinking about that. I am worried and really concerned for how your well-being is. Are you okay? Well, we usually say, are you okay? Yeah, I'm great. We use the word, I'm fine. I'm fine. Does fine mean fine, or does fine mean please don't ask me anymore because I really don't have time to explain all this stuff? And so I'd like you to do this. If you wrote this down, please help. It's not from me. I got it on some guy on YouTube. I can't even tell you who it is. It was years ago. The terms, we're going to do it like this. Okay. So you're going to write the words, I hope, ... and write the words, I know right next to it. Okay. Then you're going to write the word, I need ... And right next to it, you're going to write, I am in need. And the next one, I can't ... I can and I'm willing right next to that. Now, if you were to take a piece of paper and write, I hope, I need, and I can't on one side of the page, and then on the other side of that page, you wrote, I know, I am in need, I can, and I'm willing. And then you folded it in half and you looked at one side and then you flipped it over on the other side. Which one sounds more negative? Which one sounds more positive? I hope, I need, and I can't. Well, that sounds desperate, needy, and creepy. The other one, I know I am in need, and I can, and I'm willing, sounds more open for an invite for others to either be receptive towards you, or a person like Dawn McJoy would come into your life and say, I know, honey, I hear you. I hear exactly what's going on. And I'll tell you what, I love you. I tell clients that sometimes. I love you. I love you for your effort. And I've been ridiculed for telling people that I love them without even getting to know them. But maybe there are these people out there like me that you get to know a person by their spirit first and not what they look like on the outside. You see their spirit 100% first. It's either sad, mopey, their body language is slouchy, they fold their arms, they've got this scowl on their eyebrow, which I get anyways because I'm a thinker. And the ones that are confident are like, honey, I'm good. And they'll tell you why they're good. They will say, I can do anything. And they've got confidence. Or because of their spouse alongside them, they feel confident. Or because of their significant other alongside them, they do believe now that they're confident. So these are words that I'd like you to shift from, okay? And when I believe my own identity is okay, despite what everybody else on the outside is saying, something happens between me and that person. If I'm confident, it illuminates or mirrors their confidence. Most people that come to me, they cry. They say, I don't cry. I'm not a crier, or I don't cry in front of anybody. It is a beautiful thing when a human can come down to some kind of notion that I am undone from all of these things. Yet I feel so bound up by all of these things. What do I do with both? So I want you to put your hand on your head, prominent hand. Eric, do it. Do it. I'm going to make you do it. Do it. Your hand on your forehead.
You got it.
Yeah, I got you. Your prominent hand on your forehead and your other hand on your heart. Okay? Now, Abby's doing it too. She's so rad. Okay. So basically I want you to say, I know that 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 I am not crazy.
I know that I know that I know that I'm not crazy.
But it sure feels like I am.
But it sure feels like I am.
Now listen, when you're in chaos, you got to understand, when you say those two things, you are using your brain to speak out of your mouth as well as your heart. So why would this big fat mouth exist in between your brain and your heart if it wasn't meant to be utilized in a way that brings comfort to thyself as well as to others? That's the do. That's the do. You do you, boo. And the reason why is because I chose to no longer focus on the why, because my hope and my trust and my work feels right. People respond back to me better and they say, God, you're like just this breath of fresh air. Am I though? I'm just regurgitating that by the time you get to me, I have probably experienced things that you've gone through. And if I haven't, teach me what it's like. Take me down that journey. I love music. I love movies. I love reading books, which means I am a creative. So I can see the story when you tell me stuff as if it's happening. That is a talent. And frankly, I believe that when I do help people, I choose to tell them that they are loved unconditionally. They don't have to do anything. That's called agape love. Actually, Eric, did you know that's the word?
No, I did not know
agape
that.
Love. There's 4 different styles too. You can totally research it, Google it. But tonight we're going to talk about that. Agape love means that there is a balance. No matter what happens, I'm loving you no matter what you do and what you say, because somehow either you're talking to me from some other side of your brain and you're not feeling good right now. I can't judge you based off of the way you're feeling. Feelings are fleeting, but I can talk with you and get to know you by your knowledge and by your spirit. And so if I can leave you with anything, what can you do to be the light in the world? For me, it's running Red Shoe Project, and you can visit me on rspi.org or go on Facebook at Red Shoe Project Inc., or you can go and private message me on Facebook. Find me. It just says Dawn McJoy, but then on my banner, their cover photo, it says Dawn McJoy, good vibes only, and staying golden.
Leave
really,
those bad vibes away, guys.
yeah, no more vibey vibes.
Yeah.
And it's okay, though, to pump up your own volume. And so when I chose this profession, I didn't realize that it was going to really rebuild me. 12-something years ago, I chose to take something that was quite rebellious. I'm a pastor and a therapist, and I put them all into one center. And I had so many things going on that with my move with COVID and cancer, 3 prominent things remain. My low-cost clinic, and it really helps when you can't afford a therapist and you can't do the insurance thing and all that stuff. I work with employee assistance programs. I choose to take care of people at restaurants and different businesses, building the CEOs up, loving them. And then my favorite, which is just the personal growth development coaching, which is what we talked about today. So today was just like this big billboard for not just Undone with Dawn McJoy, but Dawn McJoy, the behavioral scientist, the person that loves to study and do cognitive behavioral therapy with you and your family. So tonight we're going to end this, and we're going to end it with the old school. The reason why I like this song, I was listening to it on the way here too. A lot of my friends are DJs, and they do these, certain talents. They scratch, whoop, whoop, and there's these certain, there's something about that body movement too with mental and emotional health. Your body gets into this. Body language is very, very, very important, and that's a tell, like poker. You can tell if a person's not well by how they talk or how they stand or cross their legs, or if they're disconnected. If they do that with you, or if you do that, it's okay. You're accepted for who you are, and it's a beautiful thing, and I acknowledge that maybe right now you can't take this crazy personality of mine. Although I don't always have the confidence that I put out there on the airwaves, okay? I am undone because I have chosen to take on a stance that's above and beyond. It's a cause to help people heal and to grow them. And so if you want to leave with some kind of inspiration, listen to this song, Google it or Spotify it, because work out to it, man. Eric, I ride my stationary bike.
I don't work
pump
out.
Up the volume, pump up the volume, dance.
Yeah.
Like everything about that is super fun for me. So anyways, I love you. Thank you for joining me for an hour on Undone with Dawn McJoy. I'll see you next week. I love you, friends. Take care.